Hey, what's up everybody? It's Prion Joni. So if you've been watching some of my recent videos, I talked about how I recently learned how to do open fader scratches, specifically the 2-click flare, the orbit, the original flare, and I kind of know how to do a boomerang, except mine kind of has a ghost note in it. And I also mentioned how it took me 22 years to finally get it. Not saying that I was trying for 22 years, but since I first understood how the scratch works, it took me that long until I found the coordination to be able to do it. Before last year, when I started practicing my first open fader scratches that I really finally started to get down, the only things I could do with regular crossfader was simple scratches that were closed fader, like transformers, Joe Coolies. Even my crabs were close fader. And it's not to say that I completely didn't know how to do open fader scratches. It's just that I only knew how to do it with the crossfader reversed when it's in hamster. I could do 1-click flares in reverse, 2-click flares, continuous crabs, and twiddles. And I also had this one where it was a forward with 1-click backwards. The thing about doing it in hamster was that I was focusing a lot on quickly throwing the click in there. It wasn't really about pronouncing every single note. It was more about creating a roll or a swing motion. Now, what that did to me mentally was it made me think that that's exactly what I had to do when I tried to translate it to regular crossfader. And what that did was it made me over-focus on how strong my thumb had to be. And because of that, my coordination was wrong. Whenever I tried to go fast, I would lose my timing. Starts turning into a chirp. So last year when I started to do open fader scratches, I figured out that there was something that I had to apply to it that mentally finally unlocked my ability to do this. So if you're one of the folks that are having trouble with your open fader scratches, your 2-click flares, your orbits, your original flare, this video I'm going to explain to you what took me 22 years to discover that finally just snapped just like that to learn how to do open fader scratches. So I'm going to show you exactly what it is, but first, a message from our sponsor, Direct Music Service. DMS is an online database for working DJs and mix artists. It's the one-stop shop where you can get your music from for your gigs. It's a searchable, organized database with thousands of edits, remixes, and different versions of your favorite tracks from many different genres. You can now save some money and get a discount using one of these 2 coupon codes. Use the code PJMonthly and get 30% off your first month off any monthly subscription. Use the coupon code PJYearly and get 10% off your entire first year of any yearly subscription. Go to directmusicservice.com today to sign up. So last year, when I first started practicing these, I started watching some of the videos on 2-click flares. The 2 videos that really worked for me was DJ Angelo's 2-click flare orbit. And that video is actually an older video, but I'm going to leave the link up here. And the other video that taught me how to gain my speed was the one from the Beat Junkies. And I'll leave that link up here as well. So in DJ Angelo's video, what I noticed wasn't something he said, but it was actually how his hand was moving. The way his hand was positioned when he would do that first click, it appeared to me as the same motion as a chirp scratch. A chirp scratch is when you move the record forward and you close it. And then once you close it, you move the record backwards. Now in DJ Angelo's video, the way his hand looked like, the way it was just positioned like this, that first motion, instead of like hypertensioning the thumb, what he was doing was he was essentially doing that first part of the chirp scratch. But instead of moving the record backwards, what he does is he continues forward and opens the fader again. So that's a full click. So now you're hearing two sounds and they're pronounced notes. It's not a roll, it's not a swing, it's two notes. It's t-t. Now, to go into a two-click flare, you have to do two of those clicks. So the way to think about this, if you already know how to do a transformer and you already know how to do a chirp scratch, the way you can approach this is kind of a forward chirp motion, 1.5 transformer. It's actually 2 taps, but you leave the fader open. I consider a full transformer as one where you open and close. So you do 1 tap, 2 tap. So it's 1.5 transformers because you don't completely close on the second tap. So let me show you what I mean. So forward chirp motion, open the fader, tap, and then as you're moving it forward, you tap again. So forward motion, tap, tap. Forward chirp, tap, tap. Forward chirp, tap, tap. Remember, you're not stopping the record. You're going to continue it to do the 2 taps. So it's forward, tap, tap. Forward, tap, tap. Forward, tap, tap. Remember to be on the edge of the scratch, but not too far back and not too far inside. So it's just... Now, you're going to be left in the middle of the sample with the crossfader open, and it's going to be the same motion going backwards. So you're going to do a close fader, tap, tap. Once again, you're going to start with the fader open, then you close it, tap, tap. The motion is always close, tap, tap, close, tap, tap. So let's put them together. Forward chirp, tap, tap. Reverse, close, tap, tap. Forward, tap, tap. Reverse, tap, tap. Forward, tap, tap. Reverse, tap, tap. So when you're treating that first motion as a chirp scratch, it becomes easier to get your timing up. And eventually you can build up your speed. And when you're doing them slow, you can lay your hand here. But when you're speeding it up, you can choose to leave your hand there. Or you can go up so you have more momentum from your wrist. This treating it like a chirp also works for the original flare. So the motion of the original flare is actually a full chirp. You close the fader, and then as you bring it back, it's 2 taps. Leave the fader open. So it's close, tap, tap. Close, tap, tap. Now, I'm not the best at doing a 1-click flare. I know it's funny, I can do a 2-click flare with no problem, but a 1-click flare is a little harder just because of the timing. But I would imagine that it's just the same motion because it's literally just 1 click going forward and 1 click going backward. So you can think of it as a forward chirp tap and then reverse close tap. Forward chirp tap, reverse close tap. So just think of it as a chirp tap, close tap. See, I told you, I'm not that good with the one click. Still got to practice that. So essentially, that's the secret, is treating that first motion as the same way you would treat a chirp. So let's do a chirp to an orbit. You can even do it as a chirp to an OG flare. All right, so let's do it to a beat. So yeah, basically, if you've already mastered your chirp scratch and your transformer scratch, you can treat any open fader scratch as a combination of chirps and transformers. Once again, the orbit can be treated as a chirp and a transformer. Chirp, transformer, reverse close, transformer. So yeah, I hope this video helps you with your open fader scratches, and hopefully it doesn't take you 22 years like it did for me to get it down. Once again, don't forget to check out the 2 videos from DJ Angelo and the Beat Junkies if you want to see a more refined lesson on how to do a 2-click flare. If you got any questions, comments, or anything to add about the topic we talked about today, please leave them in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts, answer any questions, or learn anything new that I didn't cover in this video. And as always, the gear we use today, I'm going to be leaving some product links down below. The links are going to be from Zounds. They have one of the best payment plan programs you can find online. It's very easy to qualify for. So if you're ready to pick up a DJI MV10 and 2 CDJ 3000s today, use the link from Zounds down below. If you like this video, please smash that like button. And if it's your first time here and you found this video useful, please click that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell icon so you get a notification the next time I upload a video. Don't forget to add me on Twitch, where I do my live mix show live streams on. I like to switch up the gear that I use so you can see in action the different gear that I cover in my YouTube videos, all on my Twitch channel. All right, really appreciate you for watching. Thanks, take care, keep practicing, and stay healthy.